This video is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing should be taken as factual. This is all my opinion and for your entertainment. Thank you and enjoy. Hey everybody, this is Sonia with Melanin Goddess Life. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another astrological video. Today we're going to be doing our celebrity video, and I've chosen a very popular couple. She is an influencer. She has a big social media presence. She's just a very interesting figure in social media. And this gentleman is a up-and-coming rapper. I personally like his music. He's got a couple of songs that I like. And I was just interested in doing a reading on them because I wanted to find out what the dynamic is between these two people. And the people that I've chosen to do a celebrity reading on today are none other than Moneybagg Yo and Ari Fletcher. Okay, now I don't know too much about this couple, just from what I've seen on Instagram. I know she's a social media influencer of some sort. I don't know if she has a clothing line. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. I'm not really sure. And of course, he is a rapper. I believe he's a rapper out of Memphis, Tennessee. Like I said before, personally, I like a couple of his songs. I like the song Scorpio and Waukesha. You know, I just like his southern drawl that he has when he raps. So I like him. And she seems to be very popular on social media. I think I've heard a couple of times that she has a reputation of like really don't cross her because she has a mouth on her and she is not afraid to use it. So I thought I wanted to look at their dynamic together to see what's going on with them, what could be coming up for them, and just kind of like give y'all a little bit of peek into their lives from my standpoint. So we're going to start with Ari. Ari Fletcher, she was born on July 12th, 1995 in Chicago, Illinois. I do not have a birth time on her. So again, without a birth time, the rising sign is 50-50 questionable on being the correct rising sign. But that makes her a Cancer sun, a Capricorn moon, and possibly a Libra rising. Again, the rising sign, don't quote me on. So currently she is 26 years old. I did her relationship activity age. And this is the formula that I use to calculate when a person will come into an energy or when they will feel like a shift or a transition in their love life in some way, just depending on where they are. So this would look like if Ari was single, possibly someone walking into her life and getting into a long-term relationship with that person. If she's in a relationship and the relationship is going well, this is taking the relationship to another level. That could mean living together, getting engaged, getting married, or just making a more solid commitment to the other person. Now, if she's in a relationship and the relationship is not going well, this really shows the energy of a breakup. Or if it's none of those three things, then this is Ari really evaluating what she wants in a relationship, what she wants in a partner, and working on herself and how she shows up in a relationship. Now, the age in which I came up with that we could possibly see a shift in her love life, again, depending on where she is the age of 28. Okay? Now, as we get further into this reading, I'm going to introduce some other variables that may go into a change in her relationship dynamics. So just don't get stuck on the age of 28. But I feel like the age of 25, there was a definite shift in their relationship. Now, I don't know if they possibly had some type of breakup or they started to reevaluate the relationship at about that time. So this would have been, let's see, last year sometime, early last year. Maybe they started to reevaluate the relationship. Maybe they decided to take the relationship to another level of some sort. But something happened in the dynamic of their relationship when she was around 25 years old. or something happened for her with the dynamic of a relationship. So again, came up with the age of 28. Now, her theme of her 2022, and this started in her last birthday of July 2021 until July 2022. Her theme of her 2022 up until this next July is about third house things. So that includes communications, that includes learning, teaching opportunities, how we communicate with other people, finding our voice. That's also the house of our siblings, our cousins, our neighbors, and our neighborhood. Short distance travel is there. Contract negotiation, sales and marketing, and media is in the third house. So for me, Ari probably has been definitely going through a period of upping her social media presence, probably doing a lot of contracts. Endorsement deals, sponsorship deals have been a big deal for her since her last birthday up until now, and will continue on in that energy until this July. So if I were her, I would definitely be working on my brand and getting her brand more out there. She may want to decide to go into something with regards to podcasting. She may want to start getting a website. I'm not sure if she already has this. Maybe revamping her website, starting a podcast. This will give her the energy of having the opportunity to put herself in front of the camera. I would not be surprised if Miss Ari is working on some type of roles with regards to television shows, maybe a reality show, maybe going on some type of reality show, or maybe she is being looked at to possibly be in a movie. Now, I don't know if this would necessarily be like some big budget movie, but maybe a movie that goes straight to Netflix of some sort, or maybe something that's on television, but she may be looking at that, maybe doing a radio show. She may also be thinking about writing a book of some sort, or something to the effect of putting her life and her experiences down on paper. I would strongly suggest to her, if I was sitting in front of her doing this reading, telling her that journaling would be something that would be great for her at this time if she's not already doing this. This would also the energy of, again, her siblings, her cousins, her neighbors. So this may be a reconnection with her siblings. If there's been any distance with regards to her siblings, this may be an energy of trying to mend that relationship, or maybe reaching out to her siblings or having some type of involvement with them at this time. She may be thinking about going back to school, educating herself on something. And this would probably look like not so much college level, but maybe she does some type of educational program that's something like 6 months or a year or something to that effect. But this is all about her communication. And this may be also her doing a lot of contract negotiations, doing a lot of deals, having a lot of energy around contracts that she has and business that she does with other people. But this is about finding her voice. This is about creating her brand. This is about getting herself out there up until this next July. Because after that, once we get to her next birthday, so from July 2022 to July 2023, she's going to be moving into the energy of the fourth house. And this is going to be like home, family, real estate, her family, the family that she comes from, the family that she's creating for herself. So this could look like her purchasing more property. This could look like her moving. There may be a major move for her later this year after her birthday. She may be expanding her family. I would not be surprised if a baby comes up here recently. Why do I always give everybody a baby? But I do. So she may be expanding her family, setting down roots. This will be a great time for her to reconnect with her family. So this is all about her getting serious about her family dynamic, her family history. I wouldn't be surprised if she started tracing her family tree at that time, learning more about her ancestors, getting more connected with her ancestors on a spiritual level, or just finding about the history of her family later this year. Now, this is the fourth house energy, so this bodes well for setting down roots. So this is another indicator that I feel like there may be the possibility of an engagement coming up for her later this year, sometime in 2022. I would not be surprised. Okay, so next thing we're going to talk about is she has energy in her sixth house. Now, the sixth house is the house of health and fitness. It's our work environment. It's how we are of service to others. It's also the house of our pets, the foods that we eat, things of that nature. So from now until around June, she's going to have a lot of transitions during the summertime, but from now until June 2022, Jupiter is going through her sixth house. So this tells me that I would advise Ari to be careful with weight gain, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion and growth and abundance. And anytime it goes into a house, it's there to expand it. And because this is the house of health and fitness, this could actually have her putting on a little excess weight, so she may want to watch that. This is also the energy from Jupiter of healing. So I would definitely say to her, this is a great time for her to really get serious about her physical and particularly her mental health. This would be an ideal time for her to start therapy if she's ever considered that. So I would put that out there for her, because this is a very healing energy and she wants to take advantage of this. And this is going to be in her sixth house until June. Now, also, this is the house of her work environment. So this is definitely bringing attention, growth, and opportunity in her work environment. So she definitely will have some career changes, some work changes. And when I say work environment, this encompasses the people that she works with. So meeting new people, working with new people, collabing with new people, going into business with new people could definitely be something that's highlighted in her life until now, until this June. This also could look like her bringing an addition to her family by way of a new pet of some sort. So I wouldn't be surprised if she added another pet to her household. Her work life just getting a little bit busier, day-to-day work life. This also is the house of service to others. So I would not be surprised if she came into an energy of being very charitable, wanting to help others, wanting to be of service to others in some way. So definitely energy for that. She does have Neptune in the sixth house. So Neptune right here, with that particular planet, it's going to be there for a while. I would tell her just to be mindful of any type of self-medication. Be mindful of medications that she's taking, even if they're prescription or over the counter. Just be careful with that, especially something that if she's taking it for a sleep aid or for anxiety. Be careful with how she's medicating herself. This will be an opportunity for her to take a more holistic approach to healing herself. And this could also have her looking at changing up her diet. So this could look like her wanting to eliminate certain foods from her diet that would be beneficial to her overall health. Or she may want to become a vegetarian, a vegan, eliminating beef or whatever it is she wants to change about the foods that she eats. This will be an ideal time for her to do that. Around June 2022, this same planet, Jupiter, is going to go into her seventh house of one-on-one relationships. So this is the marriage house. This is the marriage, business, family. These are the one-on-one relationships that we make with another person consciously. And this is also the area of legal situations. So with Jupiter being there and Jupiter being a planet of expansion and growth and abundance and bringing blessings, this is another indicator that we may very well see a proposal or a marriage in Ari's future later in this year. So I'm going to say anytime after June 2022, between that time and June 2023, we could definitely see a possible engagement for her. But this is also the area that brings people into your life that you need to connect with. So this could bring her excellent business opportunities by way of connecting with the right people. Again, this could bode really, really good for her current relationship, her romantic relationship, because Jupiter brings a blessing and a harmony and an excitement. So this could have her and her partner reconnecting, taking their relationship to the next level, which would possibly be an engagement or marriage. But definitely she's going to have the opportunity to be possibly doing business with people that could really, really help her in her future over this next year, particularly as we get closer to the summer months. She also has Saturn in the fifth house. The fifth house is the house of children, pregnancy, our self-expression, romance, love affairs are here. So this says to me that Ari is really getting serious about her relationship. Now, we may have already thought the relationship was serious, but this kind of energy, Saturn is a very serious planet, the planet of maturity and foundation, putting down roots, working through any type of issues to make sure you have a solid foundation. So this tells me that she's taking her relationship very, very seriously. So there could possibly definitely be thoughts of moving the relationship to another level with her. This could also look like her deciding whether or not she wants to have more children. This is why I think that there could possibly be a baby announcement. Possibly now with this particular energy, maybe a baby announcement between now and maybe early next year. She could be possibly announcing having a baby, but I do believe that she probably has children on the brain, expanding her family, especially because she has energy in the fourth house that's coming up. Family, expanding the family, transforming the family dynamic with her. So a lot of energy around growing her family, buying a home, setting down roots, getting the relationship in order, moving it to another level, and probably introducing a new baby to the family. She also has some energy in her eighth house of intimate connections. This is all lining up for her with regards to her making a solid commitment to something or someone. The eighth house is about other people's money, the resources. The resources, assets, and finances that you share with another person or another entity. So this is definitely, I would say to her, she always needs to be mindful of who she's connecting herself with on a financial level. That would be with anything. And that would particularly be with business and romantic, making sure she stays on top of those types of financial alliances she makes with another person, because they can be very sporadic, because she has Uranus here, and Uranus, this is the planet of unexpected change, unpredictable changes, but it's also the planet of unexpected blessings. But Uranus is not a energy that you can predict. So this is why I would caution her into being very careful on who she aligns herself with, resources and finance, and who she depends on for resources and finances. I would always tell her, especially during this period, to make sure that she's protecting herself financially and that she has her own money. It's very important, particularly around this time. So she could be dealing with issues or challenges or situations that have to do with shared finances. So this could look like inheritances, taxes, loans, joint property that she owns with other people. She could be getting a lot of unexpected money, maybe through child support, an insurance payout, a collaboration, or because it's the house of other people's money, if this could be the money that her partner is gaining. And if he's in a financial windfall, it trickles down to her. But at the same time, if he's having issues with the money, that also affects her. So just being mindful of the money she shares with other people and learning how to make sure that she is financially independent and protected, and her finances are protected, is just something that I would caution her with. Let's see. Now let's talk about the potential partner for her. So I was looking at her seventh house, which is the seventh house of relationships and marriage. And if, again, 50-50 on the rising sign, and because the rising sign is 50-50, that means the ruler of her seventh house could be 50% right or wrong. But if we looked at it as if it's correct, the ruler of her seventh house is actually in her 12th house. And This says to me, relationship wise, sometimes Ari can be, I don't want to say deceived, but sometimes she doesn't see her relationships clearly, or the person that she's with, she doesn't see them clearly. Sometimes she idealizes her partner, which means that she sees them for what she wants them to be, as opposed to who they truly are. Um, this could also draw to her partners that suffer from addiction, maybe mental illness of some sort, maybe drawn to partners to her that have an issue with being confined, which means in and out of jail, dealing with those types of partners. This also can draw to her a partner that is very artistic. So, in nature, his craft or how he makes his money is an artistic way. But this also puts her in the energy of being in very karmic relationships, meaning that these are relationships that she gets into that possibly have the undertone of this is either relationships that she draws in the same type of man and she repeats the relationship over and over again. Or this could also mean that she has a karmic connection with her partner, which means they've probably met before in a different life. And there is some type of karmic debt that needs to be paid on the relationship in order for the relationship to be healthy and successful. So her relationships have a lot of karma around it, a lot of lessons to be learned, a lot of debts to be paid. So definitely she gets into some really, really heavy romantic relationships. Now, this could also bring on the fact that sometimes she can draw in partners that are not faithful to her, unfortunately. And that's a karma that she has to work through. Um, Looking at her birth chart, she takes family very seriously, but she's a Cancer sun, and Cancer is ruled by the fourth house, which is family, which is very important to her, which is clearly very important. She also has an aspect in her birth chart that says to me that this is a woman that can ultimately be very wealthy, could be very wealthy. She has Pluto in the second house in her natal chart, meaning she'll go through a lot of transformations when it comes to her money, but ultimately she could definitely be very wealthy. Another thing that I'm looking at, she has in her 10th house of career, she has the sun and she has Venus there. The sun in the 10th house, which means she's going to be at the pinnacle of whatever career she chooses. She's going to be really out there in the center of attention in her career field. She also has Venus in the 10th house, and this bodes for people that go into careers that have everything to do with beautification. So this could be her being a hairstylist, or having an interest in hair, being a hairstylist, fashion designers, interior decorators, anything that has to do with the arts, anything that has to do with beautifying things, anything that has to do with makeup and fashion and just things of that nature, the beautification of things, interior design. I'm wondering if she's probably a great decorator, home interior decorator. I wonder if that's one of her talents or her passions, because her Venus is in Cancer, and Cancer rules the home. So I'm wondering if she has a flair for decorating, which could be something that she can go into. Now, again, she has that Mars in the 12th house. One of the things that stands out with Mars in the 12th house, this is a woman that actually could possibly have some type of psychic ability, or she could be very intuitive. She has some type of divine gift, and I'm wondering if she's discovered it yet. She may be an excellent manifester. She may be someone that actually has experiences with people that have transitioned over. She talks to her ancestors. whatever this spiritual gift is, I'm hoping that she has cultivated and discovered it, because it definitely can help her. This also bodes well for someone that has a very healing energy. So she could definitely be some type of healer in some sort. Let's see, what else can we talk about here? She has Jupiter in the third house of communication. So she's right in the best field for her, which is getting herself out there, social media, influencing, being an influencer. This is excellent for her. I could actually see her teaching at some time, maybe having a radio show, a podcast, television show. I do believe that she could have a career in some type of media type thing, past the social media influencer. So, yeah, so that's what we're looking at with her, with family, a baby, and a possible engagement coming up. So let's look at Moneybagg Yo and see if he kind of blends in with what's going on with her. Moneybagg Yo was born September 22nd, 1991. I do not have a birth time for him, and he was born in Memphis, Tennessee. He is currently 30 years old. He's a Virgo sun, Pisces moon, and possibly a Sagittarius rising. As always, I do not know the birth time. His relationship calculations, I actually came up with the age of 30. So Mr. Moneybagg Yo is heavily in relationship energy at this time. And his theme of his 2022 is centered around his seventh house, which is what? Marriage and relationships. So he is definitely in the mindset of marriage. Yeah, he could be popping the question. Now, his Jupiter currently is in the fourth house. Now, we talked about Ari's Jupiter is in the sixth house, going into the seventh house of relationship. Well, his is in the fourth house of family, putting down roots. So again, for him, this looks like the expansion of his family. So children. This looks like the possible purchasing of a home, or expanding his home, or making some big renovations in his home. I'm really thinking it's more or less has to do with him buying a bigger home. This is actually excellent energy for him healing any type of family rifts or dynamics in his family. So this is, again, we have to keep in mind the family that we come from and the family that we're creating. So if there's any tension or issues in his first family, this energy from Jupiter, it will be excellent for him to start to heal those dynamics if he really wanted to. But this is all about expansion, growth, opportunity, and blessings in his fourth house. So I definitely could see him buying a new home, buying more property, setting down roots, expanding his family. So this looks like a possible addition to his family by way of another child coming into their lives here in the fourth house. Now, he also has Neptune here in the fourth house. So I would caution him for a while to be very mindful of water damage or flooding in his home, because Neptune can sometimes bring flooding or water damage to the home. I would also say that with Neptune in the fourth house, there may be some issues with a family member that may be suffering from mental health issues, or just not in the best place. I'm going to leave that right there. But definitely energy around his fourth house and growing his family and real estate and property. He also has Saturn in the third house. So this is good for him getting serious about how he communicates. So this is about him getting his voice out, getting his message out, taking his craft more seriously. I would not be surprised if he is trying to perfect his craft, his art, his rap. And this may look like him being more serious with his lyrics, or this may look like him moving in a direction of being more conscious of what he's rapping about or what he's communicating about. Now, I'm not going to say he's going to become some social justice advocate, but he could. But I think he's taking a more serious approach about what his message is and what is being represented in his music. I think over the next couple of years, we may see a transition in the music that he puts out, the message that he's putting out. Now, with Saturn in the third house, he may be having some difficulties with his siblings. He may be having difficulties with his extended family. And with that Saturn here, this is also the house that governs the neighbor and the neighborhoods. He may be in a space of being dissatisfied about where he lives or the neighborhood that he lives in. So this is again ties in with the possible move for him or something by way of changing in his neighborhoods and his surroundings. Another thing with him, he currently has Pluto transiting his second house. So transformations with regards to money. If he wanted to over the next few years, Moneybagg Yo could actually put himself in a very, very good position financially. And I'm not talking little money. I'm talking not rich. I'm talking wealthy. He could definitely do that because he has a lot of energy in his natal second house. Money is a big deal for him. He has a stellium of planets in his second house of earned income and how he earns his money. This could definitely be someone that ultimately does very, very well for themselves financially. It's going to take him a minute to get there. He's going to work really, really hard. But when he finally gets to possibly after 40 years old, then you're looking at someone that could be very, very wealthy if he pays attention and does things right. Let's see. He has Uranus in the sixth house. The only thing I would tell him, because this is going to be a long transit for him, he needs to be careful with his health. So he needs to address any health issues that come up, and he may have a series of health issues that come up out of the blue that are kind of mysterious of some sort. This is going to make his work environment ever changing. So a lot of change is going into his work environment and people that he's working with and collabing with, changing a lot. And this, again, with this Uranus being here, Uranus is all about being innovative. This is why I'm thinking he may take a change. There may be a change in his music of some sort because Uranus is there and it's an innovative and wants to change and be different. So just watch for how his music may take a change in some sort. Like I said, his message may become different or his style may become different in some sort. So right now he has some nodes going through his 6th and his 12th house. I want him to pay attention to his health, particularly his mental and his physical health. He's another one that could really benefit from changing his diet and becoming more holistic in how he takes care of himself. This would be great for him to go to counseling. It is time for him to release whatever it is that he's holding on to. If he has any unhealed traumas, unhealed hurts, if he's needing closure for something, this is great for him to be able to release those things. And I think he can do that by way of going to therapy. That would be my thing that I would suggest for him. And finally, the ultimate thing is he's going through his Saturn return. Now, a Saturn return takes about 29 years to make a full orbit around the sun. And in a Saturn return from the age of 29 to 33, this is when we become mature. This is when we grow up. This is when we start to have our real life lessons. Some of the things that happen during a Saturn return is you get married or you meet the love of your life. You get married. You might get a divorce. You start a family. You start a business. You change careers. You buy your first home. Monumental changes, foundational changes happen in this period of 29 to 33. He's 30 years old. He's in the middle of it. So this is a man that's actually transitioning a lot, becoming more serious about his life and making some really, really decisions. Really, really serious decisions about his future. He's not thinking about just what's going to happen next year. This is like 5, 10, 15 years down the road. He's making plans. Now, a Saturn return is rough. It is rough because what it is Saturn's way of saying, hey, it's time for us to grow up. It's time for us to get mature. It's time for us to figure out what we want out of life. Everything that we thought we wanted, we need to look at it. And if it is not effective, it is not of quality, if it's not going to render any type of assistance in moving us forward in life, we are going to get rid of it. We're going to get rid of it and start from scratch, because this is the foundation that we want to build on. So I could see him really, really getting in the space of, am I ready to get married? Am I ready to take on a wife? Am I ready to do this? Because there's one thing to be someone's girlfriend or live-in girlfriend, and there's another thing to be someone's wife. That's a totally different commitment. And I think he's in the energy of, am I ready to make that commitment? So I will say this. The two of them, okay, before I make my predictions, I'm gonna look at something in his natal chart. He has Venus in the 9th house. Okay, so when I look for what type of woman a man is drawn to or wants in his life, I look for Venus. Venus is the planet of love, and it's the feminine energy. And his Venus sits in his 9th house in his natal chart in the sign of Leo. So this tells me, number one, Venus in the 9th house, he's going to be drawn to a woman that possibly is from another country, another culture, maybe highly educated, but she's going to be different, something of a foreign feel, number one. She's going to have Leo energy. Does not necessarily mean she is a Leo, but this is someone that could have Leo qualities. So these are people that love to be the star of the show. She may be just as popular as he is. A lot of drama. So there's going to be a lot of drama in this relationship, but he likes that. I think he's such a laid back guy. He likes women that have a little spunk to them. He also has Jupiter in the 9th house. This bodes well for him. Oddly enough, I would not be surprised if he's very highly spiritual or very grounded in his faith. This is a placement that I wouldn't be surprised at some point in his life he becomes possibly a minister or something with regards to religion, or he starts to take a big role in church of some sort. But I wouldn't be surprised if being a minister ever crossed his mind of some sort. This actually may be his destiny at some point in his life. He has the sun in the 10th house. So, of course, he's going to excel at his career. He has Mercury in the 10th house, which is the planet of communication. So this speaks to him being a rapper. And he has Mars in the 10th house, which for me makes him very passionate about his career. So looking at the two of them together, his sun is sextile to her sun, which is a good placement. Also his moon is sextile her moon, still a good placement. The rising signs I'm not going to talk too much about because I'm not sure about that. Could they make it? Yeah. I could see that they can make it. This is a couple that I would probably say to them, counseling would be great for the two of them. I do believe that they have some individual childhood issues that need to be worked out in order for them to move forward. So if they got into counseling, I think that they could actually make it. She's a Cancer sun. Cancer sun women When they commit, they commit. Now, I'm a Cancer Sun woman, so I know this energy. Sometimes we stay too long in unhealthy relationships because we're so loyal. And once we make that commitment, we make that commitment. So I don't see her being someone that likes to move around a lot. He's a Virgo sun, which makes him very practical, very grounded. This is not a bad match whatsoever. I would not say this is a bad match. Would I say this is a match that needs to work? Needs a lot of work? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think that they're both currently in a space of taking this relationship seriously and actually making this long-term commitment. So what do I see for Moneybagg Yo and Ari? I personally see it coming up. I see an engagement coming up sooner than later. I would not be surprised if the two of them are not engaged sometime this year, particularly probably after June, closer to the summer months. I could see an engagement coming up no later than spring of 2023. I also see the potential for a baby to come up, or a baby announcement to come up soon, and them purchasing a new home or moving to a new home in some way. So those are going to be my predictions for Ari Fletcher and Moneybagg Yo. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and I think I'm on Twitter, but I don't really remember. But Instagram and Facebook, and of course, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And visit my website, www.melaningoddesslife.biz. Thank you so much for your time. And most importantly, this is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing that I have shared today is factual. This is all my opinion and entertainment purposes only. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.